Most people have never seen a lychee tree up close, but deep in southern Japan, farmers harvest tons of this premium fruit every single day, using a system so precise, so efficient, it almost does not look like farming. And in this video, you are going inside. The scale. When you first arrive at a Japanese lychee operation, the first thing that hits you is the silence. No industrial machinery. No conveyor belts running non-stop. Just rows of carefully tended trees, workers moving methodically through the canopy, and a calm that feels completely at odds with the volume of fruit being produced. Japan is not a place most people associate with lychee. That fruit belongs to the tropics, to the heat and humidity of southern China, Thailand, Vietnam. And yet, in the southern prefectures of Kagoshima and Miyazaki, lychee farming has been perfected into something that the tropical world simply cannot match on quality per kilogram. The scale here is not about sheer acreage. It is about density, efficiency, and an almost obsessive attention to what each tree is producing. Every square meter is accounted for. Every branch has a reason to be where it is. This is not farming by instinct. This is farming by design. And that mindset, that everything in the space has a purpose, is the first lesson any small space grower can take home before this video is even 10 minutes in. The layout, how the land is designed. Japanese lychee farms do not follow the flat grid plantation model you see in tropical regions. They follow the land itself. In Kagoshima and Miyazaki, the terrain rises and falls. Instead of fighting that, Japanese farmers use it. Trees are planted on gentle slopes and terraced hillsides, which gives them three things that flat tropical farms cannot guarantee: natural drainage, airflow between rows, and differential sun exposure across the canopy. Drainage is critical for lychee. These trees cannot sit in waterlogged soil for even a short period without root stress setting in. The sloped layout means rain moves through, not around. Roots stay aerated. Trees stay healthy without expensive drainage infrastructure. The row orientation is almost always positioned to catch morning sun on the fruiting wood. This is not accidental. It is the result of observing how lychee sets fruit in relation to light and temperature, and then engineering the physical layout to match. For the home grower, this translates simply: if you are growing lychee or any heavy fruiting tree in a small space, the slope of your land or the angle of your raised bed is not an afterthought. It is the first decision you make. The soil system. Beneath every lychee tree on a well-managed Japanese farm is soil that has been actively built for years before the first tree was ever planted. This is the Japanese practice of tsuchi dukuri, soil building, applied specifically to lychee production. Lychee prefers a slightly acidic soil, somewhere between pH 5.5 and 6.5. Too alkaline, and the tree struggles to absorb iron and manganese, which shows up as yellowing leaves and poor fruit set. Too acidic, and root function breaks down. Japanese farmers test and amend their soil with precision. Organic matter comes from composted plant material, aged wood chips, and fermented inputs, not chemical fertilizers. The goal is not just a specific pH number, but a living soil ecosystem that holds moisture, drains excess water, and feeds the roots slowly and consistently across the season. Fermented plant juice applications are common in this region, drawing from the broader tradition of natural farming techniques that have crossed into Japanese small farm practice. These microbial inputs build the soil biology that makes purchased inputs unnecessary over time. The result is a soil that does not need to be replaced or reset between seasons. It improves every single year, which is why established Japanese lychee farms consistently outperform younger operations on both yield and fruit quality, season after season. Tree training and canopy control. One of the most striking things about a Japanese lychee farm is how the trees look. They are not the sprawling 12-meter giants you see in Thai or Chinese plantations. They are compact, open, and shaped almost like an outstretched hand, wide at the canopy, light through the center, and perfectly sized for a person to reach every fruiting branch from the ground without a ladder. This is the result of disciplined canopy management that begins when the tree is less than 1 year old. Japanese lychee growers use an open center pruning method that removes branches growing inward toward the trunk, forcing all new growth outward and upward toward light. This does two things. It prevents the dense interior canopy that traps humidity and creates fungal pressure. And it ensures that sunlight reaches every cluster of fruit, which is directly linked to sugar development and skin color, both of which determine price at market. Trees are also kept to a height of around 3 to 4 meters through strategic top pruning after harvest. This height control directs the tree's energy into the fruiting wood rather than into vertical growth that produces nothing. For the small space grower, this is the most immediately applicable technique in this entire video. The flowering trick. Here is where Japanese lychee farming gets genuinely technical, and where most growers outside Japan consistently fail. Lychee is a subtropical tree that requires a period of cool, dry stress to initiate flowering. In its native tropical range, this happens naturally when the dry season arrives. In Japan, the timing and intensity of that stress has to be managed deliberately. Japanese farmers in Kagoshima and Miyazaki use the natural winter temperature drop as the primary flowering trigger. They stop watering and reduce all inputs from late autumn, allowing the tree to experience mild drought stress combined with temperatures dropping below 15 degrees Celsius. This combination signals the tree that its reproductive window is opening. The result is a flowering flush in late winter to early spring that is remarkably consistent year over year. Not every region in the world can produce this reliably. In Japan, through precise management of water and timing, they have made it almost predictable. This is also why Japanese lychee hits the market in late June and July, a window when the tropical lychee supply from China and Southeast Asia has already passed its peak. The Japanese harvest arrives when premium buyers are actively looking for premium fruit. And that timing is not luck. It is engineered. The harvest window. Lychee is one of the most unforgiving fruits to harvest. Pick it too early, and the sugar is flat and the skin stays green. Pick it too late, and the flesh turns soft within 24 hours, and the skin begins to brown within hours of leaving the tree. Japanese farmers do not guess. They measure. Brix testing, measuring the sugar content of the fruit juice, is standard on well-managed Japanese lychee operations. A Brix reading of 17 to 20 is the target range for premium fruit. Below that, the lychee is not ready. Above 20, the window is already closing fast. Skin color is the visual cue, but it is never the only cue. The full blush from green to deep red, combined with the aroma, a ripe lychee develops a fragrance that is almost floral, and the slight give in the skin, when gently pressed, together tell the experienced picker that the moment is right. Harvesting is done by hand, in clusters. Entire panicles are cut from the branch, not individual fruit. This protects the remaining fruiting wood from damage and preserves the stem attachment that extends post-harvest life significantly. After picking, fruit is moved immediately into shade and then into cooling. Japanese lychee going to premium markets is typically at temperature within 2 hours of being cut from the tree. That discipline is why it arrives at Tokyo department stores looking like it was picked this morning, because it almost was. The premium market here is the number that makes most growers stop and recalculate everything they thought they knew about small-scale farming. A premium box of Kagoshima or Miyazaki lychee, around 500 grams, beautifully presented, sells in Japanese department stores and specialty fruit shops for between 4,000 and 8,000 yen. That is between 25 and 50 US dollars for half a kilogram of fruit. This is not random. It is the result of Japan's gift fruit culture, the tradition of ochugen, the summer gift-giving season that runs through July, where premium fruit in beautiful packaging is one of the most common and respected gifts exchanged between colleagues, families, and business partners. Japanese farmers know this market exists, and they farm directly toward it. Consistency of size, color, and sweetness is non-negotiable. A single brown or undersized fruit in a premium box means that box does not go out. Standards are enforced by the grower, not the buyer. The lesson here is not that every small space grower should try to sell at Japanese department store prices. The lesson is that producing fruit of consistent, documented quality changes what your product is actually worth, whether you are selling at a local market, a farm stand, or direct to restaurants. Quality, presented well, is its own price multiplier. Japanese lychee farmers proved that decades ago. Matainai. Walk a Japanese lychee farm at the end of harvest season, and what you see tells you something important about how these operations stay profitable year after year with almost zero purchased input costs. Pruned branches are chipped and returned to the soil as mulch. Fallen fruit that did not make it to market grade is composted directly under the trees. The leaf litter that drops through autumn is not raked away and discarded. It is left to break down, building the organic layer that keeps the soil biology alive through winter. This is the Japanese principle of matainai, the profound regret at waste, applied to farming. Nothing that the farm produces is treated as rubbish. Every output of the tree becomes an input back into the system. The result is that input costs on an established Japanese lychee farm are remarkably low. The soil feeds itself. The mulch layer retains moisture, which reduces irrigation needs. The composted fruit returns nutrients that would otherwise have to be purchased from outside. This is the closed-loop system that industrial farming abandoned 50 years ago and that small space growers can rebuild today. On a small scale, it is even more powerful, because the feedback loop is faster and the results are visible within a single season. The one small space lesson. Everything in this farm comes back to one principle that works at any scale. Precision replaces size. A Japanese lychee farmer does not need 50 acres to produce premium fruit. They need precise soil, precise canopy management, precise harvest timing, and precise post-harvest handling. The land area is almost secondary to the quality of the thinking that goes into every single decision. That principle, that precision replaces size, is the most transferable lesson from Japanese farming for the small space grower. Whether you are growing lychee, tomatoes, peppers, or rice, the question is never how much space do I have. The question is how precisely am I using the space I have? Japanese farmers answer that question differently than almost anyone else in the world. And that is why a half-kilogram box of their lychee sells for $50, while a full kilogram of tropical lychee sits in a supermarket bin for $2. Stay with me, because this is where everything we just covered comes together. At the very beginning of this video, I said the system here almost does not look like farming. Now you know why. It looks like design. Every element of a Japanese lychee operation, the slope of the land, the shape of the tree, the state of the soil, the timing of the flowering, the moment of the harvest, is a decision that was made years or even decades before the fruit ever appeared. The farmer standing in that orchard at harvest is not reacting to what the season gave them. They are receiving the result of what they planned. And the soil underneath their feet is the proof. Year after year of tsuchidukuri practice means that the ground itself is more valuable now than it was when the first tree went in. It is richer, more alive, and more productive than it was a decade ago. That is the exact opposite of what industrial farming does to land. For the small space grower, this is the most important number in this entire video. Not the $50 a box, not the volume of fruit coming off the farm. The number that matters most is zero. Zero inputs purchased from outside. Zero waste leaving the farm. Zero soil degradation over time. That is what precision farming, done the Japanese way, actually produces. Not just fruit. A system that quietly improves itself every single year, so that the 10th harvest is better than the first, and the 20th is better than the 10th. That is the farm. That is the system. And now you have seen it from the inside. If you have been managing your garden by reacting to problems as they appear, this farm is showing you a different way to think about the space you have. Plan the soil. Shape the plant. Time the harvest. Present the result. Let nothing go to waste. That is not complicated. It is just different from what most of us were taught, and it is available to anyone willing to apply it, even in the smallest backyard or container garden.